One of the hardest things for a father who cannot see his kids, whether he's being parentally alienated. Right now, as I record this, it's during the holidays. A ton of guys in my groups are really having a tough time, and rightfully so, is how do we get through this time without losing our minds? And more importantly, how do we get through this time, well, fighting a legal case if we're in it, or trying to defend ourselves against false claims? And how do we do it and still be good fathers? How do we be good fathers when we can't see our kids? Now, if you don't know my story, this is something that's very close to me. I wasn't able to see my kids for 5 years. I was falsely accused of abusing them. They were taken away from me. I was criminally charged. 8 years after that, meaning after 5 years of not being able to see them, this was reversed. It was admitted to be a mistake. I know what it's like to miss birthdays, to miss special times. Like so many of the guys that are in my groups, their kids are lied to, their kids are turned on them, and it just affects them in the hugest ways. This is a massive, massive process. Now, for me, in having experience in this and also leading just thousands of guys through this, I want to tick some boxes that hopefully can really help you. And if you're watching this during the holidays, man, I really hope this helps you because I know how hard it is. So there's pain, there's suffering, there's missing them, there's parts of you that hurt beyond anything, there's a legal battle, tons of stuff to organize, parts of you that want to give up, parts of you that want to fight, mental challenges that you've probably never faced before, feelings of self-harm, harming others. The number one thing you can do right now is join a men's group. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, there's all sorts of men's groups that are good. There's all sorts of men's groups that are bad. But what you need, and this is going to be one of the key themes towards all of this, is you need a men's group that is for divorced men who are going through high conflict custody cases. And part of the reason for that is most men just aren't going to understand you. Your friends, your family, all the different people in your life that care about you, that are trying to get you through this, that are telling you to keep moving on and so on, are not going to get the challenges. They're going to say a bunch of stuff which is not going to help you. Man, just get over it. You just got to get through it. You got to pick up these hobbies. You got to do something. Now, they're telling you all things that are going to be helpful, but they're telling you that because they don't have an answer for your pain. And man, I'm going to tell you right now, you probably need to talk about your pain. More than anything, you need to be heard by other men who have felt that pain and can tell you what it's like to get on the other end of it. You know, here's one of the things that I know about running my groups. There's guys who have lost in this and suffered massive tragedies. There's guys who've come back to win it. But what's so important for a guy that is going through this is to hear other men talk about the exact same experiences and to show him that 3, 6 months, 18 months, 5 years down the road, he's going to live. He's able to rebuild his life. He's able to live a life which has all sorts of different advantages. What are the mistakes to avoid? What are the things to do? It is absolutely fundamental to have this. A men's group that has experience in this is going to help you in so many ways. It will help you with your legal case. It will help you out therapeutically, psychologically. Now, it's not replacing a lawyer or your therapist and all these different things, but a 24/7 men's support group is going to do things that a therapist, a psychologist, or your attorney cannot do. It doesn't mean those things aren't needed. They're very much needed, most likely if you're going through something with parental alienation, but it's going to give a value in a different area. The next thing that I want to talk about is your mind and your body and getting that in alignment. One thing I know about helping men, especially in this situation, is they need to be led, and they need to be led by a man that they respect. I get it that yoga and all sorts of spirituality can help a lot of guys in this situation, but when I talk to fighters, when I talk to vets, when I talk to guys who are jiu-jitsu practitioners, when I talk to men who are entrepreneurs, when I talk to men who know what it's like not to lose and power through, and right now they're losing and they're hurting and in a way that is unexplainable, they need to be led by strong men. They need to be told what to do, and to get your mind right and to get your body right in a way that a man who has achieved things in his life can hear it is very important. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I am a yoga practitioner. I dedicate my life to meditation and spiritual practices and all these different things, but I've also fought for over 15 years. I've taught jujitsu, I've done hard things, I've built a business, and it's really important for anybody in the therapeutic communities to understand that men heal differently than women, and different men heal differently than different men. That being said, guys, you need to be able to get out of bed. You need to be able to move your body. I don't care if it's taking a walk, joining a gym, doing something hard, or doing something easy, but you need going to get this working. You don't need to jump into anything extreme right away, but that's kind of easy to do in hard moments like this. But you need to start focusing on what you put into your body, how you rest your body, and how you use your body. It is going to save your life. Once you get this thing going right, you can get this thing going right. Now, in tough times like this, one of the things that I tell everybody is ancient philosophies, ancient wisdoms, as well as old religions have answers for almost every single one of man's issues, one of humanity's problems. Extreme loss, pains, tragedies that don't make sense. This is where religions, philosophies, and ancient wisdom are great for you. One of the things I tell guys to do daily is study ancient wisdom. Now, if you already have a spiritual practice, if you already do yoga or meditation or whatever it is, those are great. Dive into it. But once again, the fact of the matter is men need to be led in this. You know, one of the things that I noticed with me was that when I went through this, the things that I loved to do, I just couldn't do anymore, and I needed to find new things. In fact, jujitsu was one of them. It's something that I dedicated a huge part of my life to, and I didn't have the same ambition for it anymore. That isn't to say that it's all the way gone. I love jujitsu, but I got into different things like hiking, running, different forms of fitness, and also different forms of philosophy and spirituality. It's really a huge part of my life, and one of the reasons why I'm dedicating so much time to these subjects on this channel. Well, unfortunately, the sun is going down here.
Ready. Happy birthday to you. Go, Nicholas, go.
This last thing is that you have to stay busy. You have to stay occupied. And one of the things that happened when I first entered into my divorce and custody battle, one of my entrepreneur buddies came to me and he said, "Hey, look, man, now is the time to throw yourself into your work." Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. The more that you can stay busy with something, the more you're going to keep your mind off something. However, you need to keep yourself in check in this way too. More than likely, you're going to have to be working a court case. You're going to have to be diving deep into some big problems that you're facing in your life right now. I don't care how bad you got screwed over or how narcissistic your ex or soon-to-be ex is. You played a part in all of this, and you gotta look at it. So many guys use hobbies or work or whatever to bypass the real things that they have to look at. But one of the things for me was just that. Filmmaking, videography, anthropological studies, studying different forms of philosophies, getting really into different forms of spirituality, ancient wisdom, and so on. These are huge, huge parts of my life. I'd say even most importantly with all of that is coaching. You know, when this went down, I already had 30 hours of coaching calls going on a week for my community. All of that went way up. I started throwing myself more into being of service, working with men in all sorts of different ways. And in all of that, like I would encourage you is to go deep, look at yourself, fix the problems that you added to this so you do not repeat them. And especially if you have kids, you don't pass them on to them. And man, better your life. Now, here's the thing, guys. This is something that I'm massively passionate about. I'm actually recording this on December 23rd. In my groups, we plan to spend Christmas Eve and Christmas on calls for guys that need the support because it's something which is just so hard to deal with. I know, man. I went through many Christmases without seeing my kids. In fact, I never really cared much about holidays until I couldn't see my kids. It was devastating, man. You cannot describe how painful it is. My groups are built by men who have gone through this. They're sustained by men who have gone through this. In a community like the Rising Man, which if you're going through a divorce and a custody case is going to help you most, I am on every single one of those calls. There are 32 hours a month where you can plug into and get legal advice. You could be taken through certain coursework that is going to help you out with your divorce and custody case. You're going to be shown how to rebuild your life, whether you want to become an entrepreneur or live an international lifestyle or just be at home and do what's best for your kids. That community is sustained and led by people who live those lives. Do not go into this alone. I keep the Rising Man affordable so that everybody can do it who needs to do it for under $100 a month. You can get carried through this process. You can be kept safe. You can be kept sane and supported in areas of life, of the tragedies of modern man that have been neglected by our society and culture for decades. Check it out. The link is in the description. There's also some other links with free resources out there. Do not suffer in this alone. You can get past it. You can build a great life and you can be a great father, even if you can't see your kids right now. All right. Sun's going down. Thanks for watching. We missed that sunset.